When I said that, I do agree that we can't solve the problem alone without you.
No,
because you know what the issues have been. And that is why I'm saying that we must agree to have areas in which we disagree. And then we have to see areas, work on areas where we agree, and try to see how we can diminish areas of differences.
Yeah,
look, medication, there is an area which we also disagree.
Which is?
The use of marijuana.
Right.
Yeah, you don't believe marijuana has anything to do with it at all.
Well,
I believe marijuana.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, I believe marijuana can make things worse.
It can.
But you probably don't see it that way.
No, look, I can agree with you that marijuana is not necessarily a helpful item, not always harmless either. Yep. Okay, so marijuana for me prevents me from going over the deep end. Okay, with all the frustration I have to deal with, the marijuana I smoke actually increases after I've dealt with you. You know,
I missed that.
It increases after I've dealt with you.
Okay.
Because of the medication. Because by medicating me, you're telling me you don't believe what I say. You're not acknowledging what the problem is. And therefore it leaves me all alone, suffering from the side effects of the medication. So I've made up for it by smoking more and more marijuana. So I've gone from smoking $20 a week to almost $20 a day. I do know that some people take more marijuana to deal with the side effects. Exactly. But I must acknowledge that this area is that you have been using the marijuana long time before you were even started on antipsychotic at all. Yeah, all right. So we can't say it is the medication that made you to use marijuana because you've been using it long time before medication come on. This is historical, am I right? No. What I'm trying to explain about the medication is that, say, leading up to August last year, my marijuana use was at best $20 a week. Yeah. Okay, and that went on for about 18 months, and I'd smoke about that much per week. And it was low quality marijuana. But since being medicated, whether it's a combination of spite or trying to, you're trying to diminish side effects, whether it's a combination of those two things, I end up going to the harder marijuana and I smoke more and more of that. Not just to... And the more one smoke marijuana as well, the less the medication will work at all. But and also, then you set up a the thing is, right, what you're missing there, right, is that if I didn't have the medication, I wouldn't be going into smoking that much marijuana. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll give that to you that if you didn't have the medication, you might not be smoking more marijuana. No, I could keep it at the limit it was. That is also, look, my arms have gone skinny, no muscle. I haven't been fishing since February. Now, I was going fishing 3 times a week, probably on the beach, and maybe twice a week on the boat at the time that you started medicating me. Since then, I spent 16 hours a day in bed, not quite asleep, but not quite awake either. Okay? That's what I spent for 2 weeks every time I was injected. It can be very upsetting. It is. But because of that, you've changed my daily routine of eating food, so I've lost a lot of weight. I don't have breakfast like the way I did before. Okay? Well, it's a big deal, mate, because my health is suffering, and now we're getting on to winter, and I've got to re-establish a routine, and this is the first month of a different medication that doesn't sedate me for 16 hours a day. So this current medication does not sedate you? No significant bad side effects. What I do have is a crash. Every 3 days I'll have a crash in the afternoon. How old is that? Just all of a sudden I'm asleep. Yeah, all of a sudden I'm active. Next thing I'm in bed. So it seems to be better than what the one you were taking before. The one before it was 16 hours a day for 2 weeks after the medication. The 3rd week I was a little bit drowsy. The 4th week was great, but then I get injected again. Okay. With this medication, I've noticed I can have 3 days of fairly active and active all day. But one of those 3 days, I'm going to hit the bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and be absolutely exhausted, and not physically exhausted, but brain exhausted. I don't know how to describe it exactly, but. So look, you are the one taking that injection. Not by choice. You are the one taking it. So if you are telling me your personal experience of it, I can't take that away from you. No, you can't. You need to acknowledge that. I have to thank you for letting me know as well. Yeah, because not many people can tell you the way I can. There is no medication that is perfect. No. But you know what is perfect is to get away from all medication, because I don't need it. That will be absolutely impossible with the complexity of problems we have. No, I don't think it's impossible, no way.
Let me explain. Let me explain.
Right,
Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We have areas where we agree more than areas where we disagree. What we disagree about is how to solve this problem.
Yeah.
You don't think it is medication, that medication has nothing to do at all with it.
No. Well,
okay? But I think a little medication has a role to play. But medication alone can't solve the problem.
I can agree with you on that point, but up until this very moment, all I've ever had is medication. Nothing, not even acknowledgement of the problem, just medicated and told it didn't happen.
Look, it will be difficult for someone to say that something did not happen, which you experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I do not experience it, does not mean I will say it does not happen.
Well, the situation with Choco, right?
What I'm saying is that the consequences of all that has created a lot of distress in you. And that distress has been so complex that job, relationship has been affected. And if we want to solve this problem, definitely the only thing medication can do would be to reduce the distress. But we have to focus on how to improve on the relationship, how to ensure you get a job, get your life back on track. Medication won't do that. No. But we need a relationship. We need a relationship to understand each other that, look, oh, this doctor have come again. But we can't give you medication that is causing too much side effect for you. Because medication is not the only thing that will... In fact, if you are talking about the solution, out of 5 things that we need to do, medication is just 1 out of 5. So
yeah,
why?
It's not needed. I can tell you now, it's not needed because the main reason why I get angry and agitated is because the problem's not being acknowledged.
What's the problem, Jeffrey?
The problem is being tormented and harassed.
He's been tormented and harassed.
In particular in the workplace, which prevents me from being financially independent, which then becomes another excuse to say that I'm mentally ill. So that's another thing, mate.
Well, let's say that what we're experiencing were symptoms of distress. We call it mental health symptoms.
Right.
You say that the symptoms of distress may look like that of mental illness,
but that's illegal,
but it is not.
That's illegal to diagnose me as having symptoms of distress and then treat me with an antipsychotic.
You've been going through a lot of distressing life experience.
Yeah.
And when people go through a lot of distressing life experience, it affects their sleep, it affects their concentration, it affects trust in people. Right. So it looks like that symptoms of mental illness, what is important about it?
You need to strip it back.
It may not be exactly the same.
You need to strip it back further. What you're missing is that by medicating me, you're generating excess stress. Put it this way, most of the abuse and torment I've had to deal with for the best part of 25 years. And I've dealt with it on my own with the adverse notion that the mental health system treats me as schizophrenic, right? Now, you're medicating me and making me angrier, okay? You strip away from that medication, that's one way of anger.
What you find very upsetting is the idea of labeling you as schizophrenic or saying that you have severe mental illness. That can be very annoying because if that is not the way you look at the issue. But what look, I don't have any argument with that because I will be angry if someone is giving me a label that I think is not the appropriate one for me. Yeah. But what areas where I think we still have to acknowledge is that this is a complex problem. It is. And because it is a complex problem, the solution to it is not only one solution. It is going to be a collaboration.
But that's what I was saying. But yeah, the only thing I've ever been given is medication. And why I'm so against the medication is because it creates a belief that it's like a smoke screen. It's like you give me a pill and I go out and I work for the day and I don't feel any back pain, then the medication's working, there's no back pain.
No, that would be...
You know what I mean? It's like... It's almost like the placebo effect where you're not actually... I'll put off that problem for 13 years and 13 years later I address it and I'm given more medication.
I'm acknowledging the presence of your case manager that you've had a lot of unpleasant, distressing experience. And that has been going on for the last 25 years. And I'm also acknowledging in her presence so that it won't appear that medication alone is not the solution. In fact, medication can only play, if it at all is playing a role, in my opinion, it is at least 25. It can be more than 25, 20% of the role. Yeah. What else? The other thing we need to do to get the things on, number one, acknowledge that you've had a distressing experience, which I'm acknowledging. Second is to find a way of ensuring that you get a good job. Third is how to improve your social relationship. And this can be done with a psychologist who will listen to you and help you to look at, okay, I've had this experience.
So this is like cognitive behavioral therapy?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, look, I've had this experience before. Sometimes I'm still having similar experience, but how can I cope with it so that it does not disrupt my life? You see, but it has been a bit difficult for me to move forward to that because I probably started on the wrong footing. Because the medication issue seems to be what it appears as if that is what I'm championing, but that is not my intention.
No,
So
but it seems the easy way to deal with the problem at the time was to...
It is just the first step.
Yeah, but I explained, at the time I explained that I've been through this before. If you leave tomorrow, say if you get transferred somewhere else, and another doctor comes here and wants to try the medication again, because he wants to find out for himself.
That is why your case manager is here. Which will be our management plan will be documented.
Mate, I've been since 1997.
You can always make reference to that. You can always make reference to that. One, what we can make reference to is number one. Over 25 years, you have gone through a lot of discrimination, abuse, which has created a lot of distressing experience for you. And the symptoms sometimes are so similar to that of mental illness, but it is not mental illness, it is symptoms of distress. Yeah. And medication alone cannot solve the problem. No. That, there is no doubt about that. Medication is, in my opinion, just to reduce the level of arousal. And the role it can play there cannot be more than 20% of the role. There are over 80% of issues, other aspects that we need to focus on. One, acknowledgement of what you have gone through. Two, engaging in psychotherapy so that you will be able to acquire necessary skills to be able to,
even to unload and
unload those things and how to tackle with life in case such things happen again.
Well, that's what I need because that's what I've been asking for all those years.
It's communication problem, and particularly what you have gone through before.
Yeah.
You see, the previous experience also might, when you are engaging with people like me too, because I represent also the same team of people that have managed you before.
Yeah. So to me, you're an entity of this building, this government building. You know, nothing personal when I get angry with you guys.
Yeah, you were very angry at me and you even abused me. But I know you didn't mean it.
Well, it's not meant to be personal. Sometimes it might be because I'm a dickhead, and I guess everyone might go through that. But it's not meant to be personal at all because I've dealt with that many different psychiatrists over the years that I've just put up a wall as if they're all the same.
So let me apologize for many years of miscommunication and insensitivity.
I don't know if you've heard the latest saying, but apologies mean nothing. It's the money.
I'm not talking about many years. I'm talking about what we need to do now.
Yeah, look.
One, we need to engage. Please, I know you disagree with the role of medication, but we need to continue with the present medication as part of the 20% of the something. Then the second thing is the issue about the psychotherapy. We need to progress with that now. The third one is the role of marijuana. I would like to urge you to look at how you can abstain from it completely. Even if it does not seem to be having any effect on you, it has impact on those who might want to help. The mental health people, the social worker, employers, even working on the mines.
Yeah,
if they get to
your life is wrong. So you can't drive.
Yeah, so we need to play a role.
But I like it, and I'm going to stay with it because I enjoy it. It gives me the creative moments I like.
It is right if you want to continue, but at the same time,
I don't like how I've extended into this abusive
action and reaction. You see, when you take an action, it will influence, it will elicit some reaction.
Yeah.
And when the reaction comes, you will also take some action. Even though you like marijuana, but as long as you are using it, it's going to interact with the way you impact on people or how people judge you.
Yeah.
And then it's going to set up a vicious cycle. So, look, let me tell you, I like to drive very fast.
Yeah.
I like to drive very fast. The country where I come from, I can move at any speed. In some areas in Germany, you can move at any speed you want.
Yep.
But here, when I wanted to drive that way, first point, I lost 1 point, 10 points.